I got to work on my dump truck this morning, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the camera work because I'm doing it with the camera in hand. Once again, this job is on the fly. I do not have time to set up equipment. Got too much waiting on me today. But I was getting ready to go to the quarry and get some rock, and I decided I'm going to stop at Bobcat first. I need a couple of fuel filters for the Bobcat, the T300. Or I need one fuel filter anyway, so I bought two. And before I could get back to the highway, I had smoke pouring out of my brakes up here on this right front on this steer tire. So I put my four-ways on. I'm only about a mile and a half from the house, and I just drove it real slow back to the house, and it took me quite a while. I'm going to say 10 to 15 minutes of spraying water on it. Half misting, half spraying. Took a while to get this thing to stop smoking and to cool down. So I've got a caliper locked up. Is it the caliper or is it the brake line? I'm hoping it's the brake line, because when I first bought the truck I had to do that same brake hose over there on that side, and I bought two of them, but this side worked and I never put the other one on. I'm hoping that's what it is and that it's not the caliper. But what I'm going to do right now is open this bleeder valve. See, can we see this? Got a wrench on it, and it did crack it loose, but I didn't open it yet. It's tight. I was expecting fluid to be under pressure and to squirt out of there. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I got to set the camera down. I'm going to take the bleeder valve off and make sure that it is not clogged up, because it might be. This is an old truck. It's an 83 model. And if the bleeder valve is clogged up, then I'm going to clean the bleeder valve out, because I'm going to need it and it has to be clean. But I'm going to take it out and find out first. Got the bleeder valve off, but it is not clogged up. I can just blow right through it. So that's a good indication that the brake hose might very well be clogged up, or not clogged up, but it's seized up in the middle. It'll impregnate with fluid and swell up and swell shut and keep the caliper from relaxing. And so there's enough brake fluid pressure to force its way through, but it won't relax when you let go of the pedal, and so the brake stays on real tight and it burns up everything. I put the bleeder valve back in, tightened it down, and then I started the truck up. And then I pressed on the brake pretty firmly. Let's see if fluid comes out now. Comes out, and with a little air too. I don't know yet if the brake hose is clogged or if it's the caliper, because it could be either one. Normally gravity will just pull brake fluid out once you've opened this up. As long as there's no air any place in the line, gravity will just continue to pull fluid down and it'll just drain out, but it's not happening. So what I'm going to do is try to open the bleeder valve on the other wheel and see if gravity just drains out of it over there. And if it does, then I'm going to know that this hose more than likely is clogged up and is not letting any fluid drain out of it. Well, there's our answer. We're going to change the hose, and hopefully that's all we got to change on the other side. Got most of this loosened up. I have not started up on this end yet. This bracket comes off, it goes with the brake hose. The new one has one on it. I'm leaving one screw on it while I'm taking this off. And I'm using what, I don't know, when I was a car mechanic in a shop, we called these line wrenches. I've heard them called flare nut wrenches, I think is what you gotta look for when you're buying them. They call them flare nut wrenches. Anyway, it's an open-end wrench, 6-sided, that is a lot less likely to strip the corners off of a tight nut, and you can't use a boxed-end wrench on a line. So I highly recommend having a set of these, both SAE and metric. I almost forgot where I was at because the memory card malfunctioned in the camera, and I had to run in the house, wash my hands, take the memory card out, take it out and clean the contacts on it, put it back in, and then let the camera reformat the card again. And it's a bunch of nonsense, but when you got SD cards in a camera, you got to do that now and then. Anyway, everything's back on. I don't have the clip for this, but I don't think I need it. That goes inside here. This is all pretty tight. It's not going to go anywhere. I tried blowing through the old hose, cannot do it. Now open this up, let some fluid out. I'm going to go ahead and step on the brake and let some fluid out of here. I forgot to mention, when you do that, you want to do it with the caps off of the master cylinder. That way it doesn't draw a vacuum and pull your fluid back up, which will pull air back in. Because I don't have anyone here to help me bleed it, so this is all I can do, is let it drip bleed. And if that's not enough, I'll have to do a better job later. Well, it's a little tight, but it turns. It's easier to turn with two hands than one. So it's not locked up now. The caliper does feel a little tight to me, but with those holes in the rotor that are kind of in a radial fashion, that's there for cooling. The faster the rotor turns, it sucks air from the middle and throws it out the outside of the rotor, and that cools the rotor, which also helps cool the caliper. So anyway, hopefully I can go get my rock now, and I got to meet somebody around lunchtime. Let's see, we're getting there. All right, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching.